I think the findings are pretty much what the public and I realised was the case, to be perfectly honest. Yes, it's used pretty direct and flowery language, but we all knew that the government under Tony Blair had conspired with the US to go to war. He had done it in a haphazard manner. We know that the intelligence services got the dossier wrong in regards to weapons of mass destruction. And we know that the military chiefs were eager to go to war, even though they didn't have the capacity or the capability. So I think, you know, there's not much in it that people didn't know, but it's still very important because as a document it informs our future foreign policy and the structures and triggers that we need when we decide to deploy our military into any form of conflict. Well, I think one of the things is that we are going to be averse to getting involved in anything around the world for quite some time. I do think there will be a fair degree of openness and scrutiny on anything that comes out of our intelligence community, and I think our military have to learn the lessons that before they commit our soldiers to conflict, that they must ensure they have the right equipment to be able to do that. I do believe, however, that our democracy has been badly dented. Well, we did take a democratic decision to go to war. It was a flawed decision on flawed intelligence, and we need confidence back there. Our military standing has been badly degraded, and we need to rebuild that as well. So I think we have a lot of things that we have to look at for the future, but we have to first of all look to the legacy of what we did, and we have to look at the families of those who died, and we have to look at Iraq and the people of Iraq who have suffered so much because of our flawed decision to go to war. Well, I mean, if you go onto the website Iraqi body count, and it'll show you what the body count is since the start of the war to now, and it's still going up. I mean, 250 killed at the weekend from a car bomb. Yes, that's not directly related to the invasion of Iraq, but it's indirectly related to it because we created that vacuum. We went into Iraq and we got rid of the structures, the military structures. We got rid of the political structures, and we left a power vacuum for others to fill. And that spilled over into Syria and elsewhere. No, I don't think so. I think Blair's legacy is now toxic. We all know that. He's been vilified, and in many ways that's quite right. He was our Prime Minister at the time, and the buck stops at his door. But he wasn't alone. You know, the Foreign Office had a part to play in this. Our intelligence services had a part to play in this. Our military had a part to play in this. And our members of Parliament voted to go to war. So they have a part to play in this. So we all have, I think. So it's important that we understand that. And if we want to just name, shame and blame, then we can do that, and we can do that very easily. But if we want to really get something out of this, then it's important that we look at our foreign policy and we look at our triggers for sending troops to war, and then remember those people who have been caught up in this terrible conflict. No, I think, you know, for me, when I reflect back 13 years from when I crossed the border into Iraq from Kuwait and the war started, that I'm proud of my actions, and I'm proud of the actions of the soldiers I stood beside, and nobody will dissuade me from that. We crossed the border for a noble cause. We thought it was the right thing to do. There was weapons of mass destruction, and we thought we were going in to make Iraq a better place for us having been there. Clearly we did not, and we must now, 13 years later, accept that. But the soldiers cannot be blamed for doing what they were asked to do. It was their duty, and there was a legal basis to do it. You know, so I will always stand up for those young men and women who went to that country in 2003.